morning to you. Welcome to today's Thames Valley Chamber of Commerce webinar around the future of digital accounts. Our presenters today are Melanie Deacon of Seymour Taylor and Andrew Linford of SAGE, and we're going to have a live demonstration by Felix of SAGE too. So please save any of your questions, pop them online and we'll take these at the end. But I'm going to hand straight over now to Melanie.
Good morning. Thank you, Wendy, for your introduction, and thank you for inviting us today. Thank you also to your members for taking the time to join us. So my name is Melanie Deacon, and I'm a client manager at Seymour Taylor in the Accounts and Audit Department. And I'm part of a team looking at how technology is helping us and our clients make accounting quicker and easier. So today we will be covering the current regulations now in place under HMRC's Making Tax Digital, also known as MTD. A brief look at what lies ahead, then how we feel cloud accounting is advantageous for both businesses and accountants. So let's start with the current requirements. If your business, be it sole trader, partnership, limited company or other entity, is VAT registered and over the VAT turnover of 85,000, then you should have registered for MTD or will need to register shortly. MTD requires your first return commencing after the 1st of April to be filed under the new regime. So if the first quarter is either the 1st of April to the 30th of June, or the 1st of May to the 31st of July, or the 1st of June to the 31st of August, then they will need to be filed under MTD. Those with monthly returns should have already filed their first return under MTD. Please also be aware that you must register with HMRC for MTD, but you cannot do this within 7 days of the last payment or month's payment, or 7 days before the next return is due. There are a few exceptions that have been deferred until the 1st of October. For example, VAT groups or overseas businesses registered for VAT in the UK. Once you do register with HMRC, you'll no longer be able to use the HMRC portal to file returns. So if you're filing VAT returns, the data that HMRC receive is still just the 9 boxes previously required, although this may change in the future. But the links between the data must be digital. So box 1, sales VAT, must be linked to the data that makes up that figure. The figure cannot just be copied and pasted or typed in. There are 3 ways of filing VAT returns under MTD currently: through existing but upgraded desktop software, via cloud accounting, or via bridging software. Please also note that no new penalties have been introduced by HMRC, but if you do not file under MTD, HMRC will be writing to you. So the future of MTD is a little uncertain at the moment, so as no further dates have been announced. But the areas likely to be included in the future will be all VAT registered businesses, no matter what their VATable turnover. MTD for income tax, which already has a pilot in place, and finally MTD for corporation tax. At the moment, the earliest any of these will happen is April 2021, but the HMRC are busy with a small matter of Brexit. So how can cloud accounting help you? So although there are 3 options open to you for MTD, we recommend the cloud option. It can be a big change moving from older software or manual records, but if you are supported in this change, then the move should be smoother. There are numerous cloud packages on the market, the leading ones being SAGE, Xero and QuickBooks. In addition to these packages, there is now a huge market of apps and add-ons that can also help by making bookkeeping easier. So why can they help you? Well, I'm sure Andrew will talk to you about this from his point of view, but I'd like to think time is your biggest saving. We're also so busy with our lives that nobody wants to be doing the business's books on the Sunday afternoon. All softwares have the ability to download bank transactions direct and will match against sales and purchase invoices. And the system learns most things where you post things on your chart of account, and you can write rules for certain transactions. So many of you have seen TV adverts from all 3 leading software providers, but A number of them are telling you can just take a picture and you're done, although it's not quite as simple as that, as you will have to tell the system where to post it. Again, we'll learn. It will save you also having to dig around for those receipts come the year end to send off to your accountant, as the photo will then be online and we can access that as well. As these days, most people have a smartphone, all the software providers have apps, and you can prepare and send quotes and invoices to customers from your phone. There are many benefits that we can see for businesses, which we hope will persuade more people to move online. But there are benefits our end too. Instead of waiting for a client to bring in their red cash book or backup or an Excel spreadsheet, we can go online, look at the figures and spot errors or enter journals so you have a better understanding of your figures quicker. We can assist in the transition and be at the end of the phone to help. As you can imagine, the accountancy world is seeing a lot of change with the technology that's assisting us in our work. The work we do is going to change a great deal, and we have to keep up with these changes and look what may change going forward. As businesses use technology, they will know their figures better and quicker than ever before. And we'll be looking for advice from their accountants about the future of their business, as opposed to looking back at the past. And our role may change to forecasting as well as compliance. So as mentioned earlier, Andrew and his colleague Felix will now show you the aspects of SAGE and how they feel accounting is the best way forward. So over to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Melanie. Good morning, everybody. My name's Andrew Linford. I'm one of the business development managers here at SAGE. I'm here this morning with my colleague Felix, who's one of our business cloud enablement specialists, whereby he actually helps practices implement the cloud software and ensure that they get the best outcome for their clients. So what I wanted to talk to you about this morning is a range of products. A couple of those are cloud-based products, and the other one is a desktop cloud-connected product. Felix is actually going to be doing a live demonstration when I finish talking of the box in the middle, which you can see says SAGE Business Cloud Accounting. So this is a very powerful online package. You may have seen other competitors in the market that have something similar on the television. But that's our main cloud we're leading with, and Seymour Taylor are using that in terms of pushing their clients towards cloud accounting. I'll just step through a couple of these boxes for you. So the SAGE Accounting Start is basically a small cash book based cloud accounting solution, which is very good just to get you started on the journey. It enables you to post sales invoices out quite quickly, but doesn't enable you to do anything from a purchases side. On the right hand side, we've got SAGE 50 Cloud Accounts. This is our traditional desktop cloud connected solution, which is more focused on larger businesses. But it has, so if any of you have a stock management system or stock control system that you use, that's probably more the product that would be right for you. But for the purposes of today, we're going to be focusing on SAGE Business Cloud Accounting. As I mentioned, we've got Accounting Start, which shows money in and out of the product. It's available with a mobile app. VAT is taken care of. Business Cloud Accounting, which is what Felix is going to demonstrate in a moment, is a powerful cloud accounting solution, and he'll show you some of the solution and the functionality that's available within that product. And 50 Cloud Desktop, which is our cloud connected solution, as I mentioned previously, is for more experienced SAGE users, advanced stock-based businesses, and those businesses who are charity and have some CIS functionality requirements. So just a bit about Business Cloud Accounting. So basically, as Melanie was talking about, you can actually access the product from anywhere. It's modern software. It's got a modern look and feel. You can use it on any device. And in terms of making tax digital is very, very straightforward in terms of being able to use that solution in that regard. I'm not going to waffle on any longer. My colleague Felix is going to take you through a demonstration, live demonstration of the software, and we'll take any questions at the end. Just bear with us for a moment. We've just got to flip things around on the presentation in order to get the web browser enabled.
Just bear with us a couple of minutes. Thank you for your patience while we're sorting out that technical issue. Now, as you can see here, I've loaded up Sage Business Cloud Accounting for you. Now, I'm going to take you through a brief demonstration. General demonstration would generally last around 2 to 2.5 hours. So I'm going to condense everything down and show you just the unique and essential features in Business Cloud Accounting. So the main dashboard that we can see here is my business dashboard. And from here, I can view all the details of my business. So in terms of navigating around, I can do that from the top tabs. So we can see we have summary, sales, purchases, contacts, products and services, all visible on a page. So we're going to go around each of the dashboards and then access the different sections to show you the key features. All right. So we have the summary tab here, which gives you a brief snapshot of some of the transactions that you recorded within the business, but we'll look at some of the key other essential areas. So hovering over the sales tab, we can view all the available transactions we can record from our sales ledger. So we can record quotes and estimates, which can be converted to invoices, credit notes, and the final option here for quick entries allow you to batch your sales transactions. Now, the benefit of the quick entries is that you can combine invoices and credit notes all from the same transaction page. And this is one feature that isn't available on some of our other providers and competitors that are out there in the market. Now, this functionality with the quick entries is available for both the purchases and the sales. So you can choose how you wish to record those types of transactions in the system. Now, of course, the main benefit of entering the quick entries is it allows you to process both your credit notes and invoices simultaneously. But if you did want to raise specific invoices whereby you'd be able to generate an actual PDF, we recommend generating the sales or purchase invoices and using that functionality within the product. Now, that's covering sales. With purchase invoices, when you're recording them in the system, you have the additional benefit in that you can attach and upload a file of that particular supplier invoice that you're recording in the system. So looking at this transaction page here that we can see for the purchase invoice, after I've chosen my supplier and I've entered the details of the transaction that I want to record, you'll notice that we have a paperclip icon just at the bottom of this page next to the save button. If I click that paperclip icon, it will allow me to upload and attach a file to this transaction. And there is no limit to the number of files you can attach. And you have a whole multitude of different file types that you can attach, regardless of whether it's Excel, Word, or in PDF format. So once I click upload, I can then find where I've saved or stored that particular attachment and then upload it to the transaction within the system. Now, we've been informed by HMRC that once you've attached those transactions in the system, you can physically get rid of that actual PDF invoice, because once it's attached in the system, you can always view and retrieve the original copy directly from the transaction that you've recorded within Sage Business Cloud. The additional benefit of the purchases and sales and banking pages is that within Business Cloud, we do have add-ons that you can integrate with for additional functionality. Now, one of those add-ons that we have is Receipt Bank, and we also have Auto Entry. These two particular add-ons enable your clients to be able to take pictures of those receipts, and rather than having to manually key them in and to record and post them within the system, the Receipt Bank add-on or Auto Entry add-on will be able to do the postings for them. So just to give you a brief overview of how that works, we have Receipt Bank here, which I will log into. With Receipt Bank, you can access it from the app, on the phone, on the iPad, or directly from your web browser. Now, the benefit of that is you can scan in the documents if you have in PDF format, or you can take a picture of those particular transactions. Now, once you've recorded the transactions within Receipt Bank or Auto Entry, it will be posted to the web browser version that we can see here, whereby if you click into that transaction, it will show you an image of that receipt you've taken. And you'll notice on this page, Receipt Bank has automatically auto-filled all the respective fields on the page for me. Now, if I need to make any changes or corrections, I can do that at this stage. Receipt Bank simply picks up the fields for me and displays it on the page. Once I'm ready to publish and post it into my bookkeeping software after confirming all the relevant fields, I can do that by clicking Publish here. To give you an example of that, we have some archived that I've previously published and posted into the system. So if you look at this invoice here from 18th of January for a stay at DoubleTree, this looks like a general transaction. Receipt Bank has filled in all the details, and I've posted it into Sage Business Cloud. Now, if I jump back into my purchases page here, we can view that same transaction that we have in Receipt Bank that is now posted into the system. So using the search bar at the top, I can simply type the supplier name, and we can see we have that invoice from 18th of January visible. Clicking into it, it appears as if it's just a normal standard purchase invoice. You'd be none the wiser that this particular transaction was posted directly from Receipt Bank without me having to enter anything in. And you'll also notice on this transaction page that we have a file attached directly to it. Clicking the file, I can even add more if need be. But if I click that JPEG image, that same file that was in Receipt Bank, where it posted into Sage Business Cloud, is now also attached to the transaction that we can see here. And where I mentioned once you've attached the receipt, you can throw away the physical copy. The reason being, directly from this image, if I needed to download a copy of the invoice for whatever purpose, I can simply click the download button there and I can retrieve another copy of that invoice. So that is the sales and purchase invoice functionality there. You have your contacts, customers and suppliers, they can be managed. Now, one useful features of your customers is that when you've started recording transactions, processing payments, receipts, etc., you can generate statements to see what is owed by any particular customer or what is due to any particular supplier. Now, when you generate customer statements, one added feature that you have within the system, which is quite good for credit control purposes, is that once I generate the statement, I can choose for the system to automatically enable and generate a statement to that client. So to save me having to manually chase up that customer every single month, if I schedule monthly statements, I can enable it whether it's at the start of the month or the end of the month. And as long as there's an outstanding amount present on that contact's record within the system will automatically generate a PDF to that customer for you. That's just one of the added functionality and features that you have within the system. You can also manage products and services. So if you have items for stock, non-stock, or service items, these can be easily managed and recorded from the products and services page. So depending on which item that I want to add, I simply click it from this page here. I can then fill in the details of the item. The benefit of that being when I go to raise invoices, quotes, purchase invoices and credit notes, I don't need to manually key in those items within a page. So for instance, if I go to the sales invoice page here, when I'm recording the entry, where I've already added those items from my products and services page, I can simply choose them from the dropdown, either by scrolling down the list, typing in the name or the code of that particular product and service. So for instance, if I provided a consultancy service to this particular customer, once I choose consultancy from the dropdown, you'll notice all the fields within this transaction page are automatically populated for me. And with the items, you can combine both services, stock, and non-stock items, depending on how you want to raise and record the transactions. Now you notice with this radiators item that I've selected, we have an I indication within the quantity field. The reason why we have this I indication because this particular item is a stock item, so the system will let us know how much we have in quantity at any particular time. So by and by, that is how you can manage the products and services and how they can be utilized within Sage Business Cloud Accounting when you're processing and recording transactions within the system. The next essential area we move into is the banking page. Now, this page is where you can manage and create all the bank accounts that you have for your business. When you set up bank accounts, you have the option to manually import using CSV, OFX, or QIF, or you have the additional benefit of connecting to the bank feed. The benefit of that is once connected, the client will never be requested for statements from their accountant because everything will be fed into the system real time and they'll be able to view all the information. So we can see this Coots account here is connected. If I was to click the number of transactions here, it will take us directly into the bank account whereby we can view all the imported statements and we can also reconcile from this page. So from the top here, we can see which bank account that we're in. We can view the amount of transactions that have been imported and are ready to be reconciled. Those imported statements are the ones appearing on the left-hand side here. And I can perform my allocations and reconciliations from the right-hand side of this page. When I'm reconciling, I can use the match feature, create or transfer. The match feature is there for the benefit of if you've already recorded that invoice, payment, receipt, credit note, whatever it may be, where you already have the transaction sitting in the system. When the statement line imports, the system will try to automatically match it and reconcile it to the entry. Where it finds the appropriate entry, it will show the suggested match. So we can see match found, and it's given us the detail of that transaction that could potentially match to this imported statement. If I agree with the match, I can simply click match. If not, or I don't want to double check, I can click that pencil icon and I can search for that particular entry, either by going through pages one by one or by filtering the entire list by the contact name, reference, or the amount of the transaction that I'm looking for. The next functionality that you have is create. Now this allows you to create the transaction there and then from the reconcile page if you haven't already recorded the entry in the system. Now the benefit of the create tab is we primarily recommend utilizing for those transactions that don't relate to the sales or purchase ledger. So any direct payments or receipts that are going in and out of the bank account. So you don't need to enter any contact information. So for instance, if this was wages, bank charges, or any type of transaction where it's not associated with any specific contact, I can still code it to the nominal and be able to process and reconcile the entry from the page. The final entry that you have from the reconcile page is transfer. And that's simply if that importer statement relates to a transfer between one of the other bank accounts that you're managing within your business. Once you choose the account and click transfer from here, it will reconcile the entry in this Coots account. It will also create the transfer entry sitting in that dedicated account that you've chosen. Now let's imagine this dedicated account is also connected to the bank feed. Where that bank feed comes in, because the transfer entry is already sitting there, a match should then also be made in this Spanish Armada business account that I've selected on this page. One other useful feature that you have from this reconcile page is the ability to utilize bank rules. Now, the benefit of the bank rules is it could potentially eradicate the need for you to even use this create tab that's present on the page. Because with bank rules, depending on what information shows up or imports from the bank statement, you can click create rule. And you can apply this for both payments and receipts, whereby the system will pick up the details that are coming through from the statement line, and you can then choose how you want the system to post and record the entry within the system, choosing the ledger account, VAT rate, and then once you save that rule, anytime any importer statement comes in that meets these conditions and criteria that we specified, the system will automatically have the transaction details automatically populated on the page for you to simply confirm and reconcile from the page. So by and by, that is the reconciliation process and how you can connect to the bank feed. The other area that we'll focus on is reporting page. So from the reporting page, you have access to your whole multitude of reports. These standard reports, you can customize, filter, and generate as you see fit. But in addition to these reports that we have available, you also have access to this tab here called Sage Intelligence. Now, the benefit of Sage Intelligence is that it allows you to create your own customizable reports in addition to the reports that you have available on the reporting page. Unfortunately, it seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today here and there. So it appears that Sage Intelligence isn't loading for me as I would like it to. But if you do have access to the system, you can play around with it and see how it works and how you can utilize and create your own reports from scratch, adding your own rows, columns, changing them around. You can even add your own logos and set up report packs where you have a combination of P&L, balance sheet, and TB all compiled within one report. One other area that I didn't cover, and I directly jump to the reporting page, is journals. Now with journals, when you're recording them in the system, you can create, delete, reverse, and recently they've incorporated the ability to also edit journals. So with journals, if I just create one here randomly, I'm simply going to choose a couple of accounts where I'm going to process some movements in. Now, once I've recorded the details of this journal page, we have two transaction lines that we have. Depending on how many entries I have visible on the page, I can configure and move them around and rearrange them depending on how I see fit. You'll also notice to the right of this credit column, you have the triple dash, whereby if I hover over any line item, it will give me additional options that appear on the page. So for instance, I can insert a row above, I can delete, I can also copy rows if I don't want to manually key in any previously entered row that I've created on the journal. With journals, I can also attach and upload a receipt. So if I have done any additional calculations or I have the physical copy of that journal that I'm posting, I can attach it directly to the transaction. Otherwise, once I save the journal, we'd have it visible here and we can see all our journal options on the page. Now, where you delete a journal, you can see it is no longer visible on this journal's page. But one of the other essential and useful reports that we have on the reporting page is this audit trail report. The benefit of the audit trail is that it will show you every recorded transaction that you've posted in the system, in addition to any deleted entries. And you can see that that journal that I previously deleted, even though it's no longer visible or retrievable from the journal's page, is now listed within the journal and is shown as deleted. With any report, including this audit trail, we have these preset date ranges that I can generate for. So whether it's this month, last year, last quarter, otherwise I can simply select custom and specify whatever date range that I want to generate the report over. And where I want to export, I have the option to export in either CSV or PDF directly out of the system. Now, within the settings page, Andrew mentioned at the start or within one of his slides that with Sage Business Cloud Accounting, you have unlimited amount of users that you could potentially invite into the license, depending on how many people work within your business and how many people that you want to give access to your particular license. So from this settings page here, whereby you can configure and utilize a whole multitude of settings and configurations, you have a user management section here at the bottom, whereby this page will allow me to invite and add as many additional users as I wish for my particular license. It will list any existing user, but where I want to invite or add a new user, simply click invite user, enter their email address, You can then indicate what level of access they want to provide and give them within the system. So with the roles that we have available, you can see that we have full access, restricted, read-only, or no access. These 4 user roles apply across the entire organization. So where you want to customize the invite or the role for that particular user, you have this custom user role whereby once selected, if I click advanced, I can specifically indicate what areas that user can access and the level of access they have in those particular areas. Before saving and sending the invite to that user, one other facility that I have on this page is System Manager option that we can see here. Now, this option simply allows you to allow that person you're inviting to be able to add and invite other people. If you don't want to give them this access, simply leave that unticked, and then you can simply save and send that user their invite. Once they receive it on their end, they'll be able to create their password and have access to the system based on whatever user rights that you've given them. You can select and add your logos as well. If I cover that briefly from the settings page. So where you want to issue invoices, remittance advice, statements, anything from the system. Once you indicate the template that you want to utilize, you can add a logo, add association logos on the page here. I can indicate the theme color, font, and font size. Now, if I go to a customer here, just to demonstrate how the branding and logo works, if I go into Bill's Bill, which is one of my customers, first and foremost, I can generate a statement. When I go to print the statement in PDF format, we can see we have the statement generated for that particular customer, all our branding situated, and we can view all the detail of the transactions that are outstanding and still awaiting payment for that particular customer. Now, as I mentioned, this is just a brief overview, just highlighting the key features in Sage Business Cloud Accounting. There is a lot more functionality that you have within the product. As I mentioned, if I was to go into a detailed demonstration, this could be a couple of hours, but I'll stop there now as I've concluded the session today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you. Okay, now, thank you to all of our presenters today. That's a very comprehensive demonstration, Felix. Thank you. Got a question here, probably for you, Felix, or maybe for you, Andrew. So if I'm using bank data, how secure am I in using that bank data?
The bank data is very secure. It's as secure as internet banking. And with that, one thing that I clarify with a lot of clients and users who want to use the bank feed is that the bank feed cannot physically do anything within your bank account. All it does is download and display the transactional history in terms of what has happened within your bank. So your accountants would not be able to go and siphon money out of your account. So don't be worried, no offshore accounts going anywhere. So it is very comprehensive and very secure. And it is utilized with Lloyd's, NatWest, and all the major banks. So they're connected with us using the bank feeds as well.
So we're comfortable and that we're secure?
Yes, we're very comfortable that we're secure, yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
So we have another question here. I'm not sure who this will be directed to. So Paula Silva says, which software is more appropriate for a freight forward company with link to an external system? Is that something that you can answer?
Yes, I'll answer that one.
Thanks, Andrew.
I think given the nature of that particular business, it would be more appropriate for us to recommend the 50 Cloud Connected product. That's not the one that Felix has just done an excellent demonstration on. But if you need more information on that, Paula, please get in touch with Wendy and we can get you some information on that.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. And there's another question also from Paula saying, is it possible to add different companies to the same license, or do you need a different license for each company?
In terms of the cloud product that Sage Business Cloud Accounting, which Felix has just gone through, that is a single company license. So we do offer, we are shortly going to get multi-company in that product, but it's not a multi-company product today. So if there was a requirement for more than one company, I'd recommend the 50 cloud connected product rather than the Sage Business Cloud Accounting. Yeah, and you just add more companies to that.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions here? I think we're all done. So thank you again to our presenters today. Thank you to Melanie, to Andrew and to Felix. And thank you all for attending today. And just a reminder that the webinar will be stored online on the Chamber's website. And if you want any more information, please do give us a call or just get in touch by email. So thanks again for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.